Says I'm live. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston with you for a little bit. For a little bit. I actually might not be able to stay till 5 o'clock today. But if I do stay till 5 o'clock today, I have to leave at 5 o'clock today. I got some stuff that I had to do. Let's see. Something looks totally different about what's going on here. Something looks different, but I don't know what it is. Oh, okay. That'll do it. So, good afternoon. Welcome. It's the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back now. I'm back now. So, come on in. Please say hello to me if you wouldn't mind. I would appreciate it. Just say hi. Tell me where you're checking me out from. If you're in Cincinnati, what neighborhood? If you're not in Cincinnati, where are you from? What city? We got SOT Soldier in the house. What's up, SOT Soldier? Good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. Karen in the house. So welcome back. Good afternoon from Westwood. Karen from Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in and checking me out. Got Anthony in the house. Anthony, I always got some criticism. It's all right. It's all right. I can take criticism, but only so much. We got Anthony says, it's about time you showed up, Livingston. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Diane in the house. Diane says, hallelujah. Good afternoon from Covington. So we got Covington checking in. We got my OSHA in the house. Well, looky here. I see some just for men in your future. No, you don't. I'm not painting my head black. But good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Corey in the house. Checking in from Green Township. Thank you, Corey. Good afternoon to you. Carolyn, good afternoon from East Walnut Hills. East Walnut Hills. Thank you for welcoming me back. We got David in the house. So it's good afternoon, little baby, who's not here. E-Man and Meta Live family checking in from the universe. Can't beat that. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking in. Black Russian, good afternoon. Watching on mute from Bond Hill until the meeting is over. Oh, all right. Well, you can't hear me say it, so, but good afternoon anyway. Good afternoon. Got Logic Slayer, good afternoon. Golf Manor, good afternoon, and thank you for spending time with me. Good afternoon from the Wood. All right. Anthony. Quintano in the house. Quintano was cracking. Checking us out from Avondale. All right, Avondale. Got Kenneth Jones. Great Day. Royal King. West Side. Can't beat that. David says, a well-rested. Gorgeous Rick Road is back. Not so well-rested. But I'm back. But well-rested or not, I am back. I'm not going to fall asleep on air. But when I get off the air and go do what I got to go do, I'm coming home and going right to sleep. Candy D in the house. I might have just been ignoring you, but I don't feel like I've seen Candy D in the house for a minute. Or maybe you was kind of here, but you wasn't saying hi. We beefing? Are we beefing? Did I not know it? And we was beefing, so you wasn't saying hi to me or something? But good afternoon, Candy D from Coleraine Township. We got Brenda from Fairfield checking us out. Hi, E-Man and family. Hello, Brenda. Diane in the house. Diane. I already said Diane. But good afternoon again. David says happy birthday again. Thank you. I appreciate that. McConnell in the house. Say welcome back. Checking us out also from Fairfield. Got Jack in the house from Silverton. All right, Jack from Silverton. Checking us out. I appreciate you for checking us out, Jack. And good afternoon. Regina, good afternoon. We got Mike Ballard. Good afternoon from Woodlawn. Good afternoon. Victoria Smith. Come back on Friday Eve. The nerve. Good afternoon. you know, gotta make it a short week, even though it really is not a short week for me. Cindy Hill says, E-Man is back and bad. All right. All right. Well, wait a minute. I'm not sure. Was that like bad meaning bad or bad meaning good? I'm not sure which one it is. So either thank you or hell with you. I'm not sure which. Take it whichever way is appropriate. Good afternoon, Cindy. Good afternoon. Angela. Angela. Respect, love, and blessings. All right, Angela. Same to you. And of course, good afternoon. Pamela Kinney. Pamela Kinney checking us out from North Avondale. So we got North Avondale in the house. I think I'm gonna start writing it down. I'm gonna start writing down where y'all from, so that I can have like a list of where people are checking me out from. I try to commit it to memory, but I had the coronavirus. I still don't remember stuff. I got something to tell y'all about coronavirus. I don't know that I've ever shared that, but we'll do that in a minute. Sabrina checking in from North College Hill. Good afternoon. We got Yo Underwood. Good afternoon. Checking in from his house. Well, you can't beat that. Can't beat that. Brian. Good afternoon. Damn dollar to the Bucks. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I'm slow. But good afternoon to you. Got Sierra. Sierra in the house. Welcome back. Greetings from checking in from Boston. Have you recovered from being blocked on the Lincoln Ware show? He didn't block me, but he did block for AvTab. And it was not even necessary. I might talk about that a little bit. I'll touch on it. I'll touch it. Good afternoon from Hebron. David, good afternoon, and thank you for checking me out. Thank you for supporting the show. Let's see. We got Phyllis. Listening in the car in Kenwood. All right. Stop by the Apple store. Get me a brand new MacBook Pro. All tricked out. As much memory as you can get, as much, just everything you can get. Get that and call me and I'll give you the address and you can drop it off. All right? Thank you. I appreciate that. See you in a little bit. We got Brian. Brian, good afternoon, Brian. We got AJ. AJ from Wyoming. Oh, my phone. I forgot to put my phone on silent. All right. Wyoming in the house. AJ, thank you for checking in. I heard you on Lincoln. Great job. Thank you. I had some other questions, like some what I feel like were pertinent questions, but maybe not. But I'm gonna talk about it all in a little bit. But thank you. We got Terry. Good afternoon. Checking in from downtown. Good afternoon, Terry. Sean, welcome back. Thank you. I know you're from ATL, Atlanta. Got Gloria from the West Side. I was going to sing that song, but I said, don't nobody want to hear that. So I didn't sing it. But thank you, Gloria, for checking us out, and good afternoon. We got Brian, Damian Lillard to the Bucks in a trade. Oh, really? Oh. The Bucks might win a title this year. They might win a championship. I kind of hope so. I like Damian Lillard. Okay. That was what I told y'all I'm slow. And I've been trying to get some sleep in. But all right. Let's see. Did I get everybody in? I see Preston in the house. I'm late, but here, good to hear your voice, because listening to Lincoln is frustrating. All right. Angel say, why the feed buzzing? And you be talking about us. I'm appalled. Is it buzzing? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be buzzing. Nothing should be buzzing. maybe you got an Android. If you watching this on an Android phone, is that what it is? Is anybody else hearing a buzz? Hearing buzzing? Excuse me. Anybody else hearing buzzing? I don't hear it. Um, really, is anybody else here hearing buzzing? Uh, it's definitely not that wasp. Uh, Nobody knows. Sabrina says she's not hearing a buzz. Sierra, stop the Android. It was just a question. It was just a question. You use whatever phone you want to. Um, uh, you might be hearing. I could go turn off the. I got a dehumidifier. It's been raining, and again, I'm in an unfinished basement, and so when it rained like real hard, sometime stuff happen. Get kind of. I don't even want to finish what I was saying, but I had to finish it, and there is absolutely nothing funny about it. But just every time when I think of that word, my brain goes elsewhere because I'm childish. But it gets kind of moist around here when it rains. And I'm usually not against things being moist. But, you can't have the basement all moist, so you have to turn on the dehumidifier. And maybe that's what y'all hearing. Um, David says, I hear it and I have an iPhone. You hear a buzz. See, I don't know if I can trust y'all. But, because y'all be hearing an echo talking about his feet and back. So I don't know if y'all hearing just the background noise of the dehumidifier and think it's a buzz, or if y'all actually hearing a buzz. I don't know. My guess is it's the dehumidifier. Hold on, let me go turn off the dehumidifier. See, this is the beauty of, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional anymore. I can just do stuff like get up and go turn off the dehumidifier. Hold on. All right. Did the buzz go away? Because I turned off the dehumidifier. So the buzz, that's the only noise that I think that you should be able to hear. Someone says, still buzzing. Angel says, once a professional, always a professional. Oh, well, if y'all hearing buzzing, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Hold on, let me look at one other thing. Because y'all know I strive for perfection. I strive for perfection. So let's turn that off. Turn that off. Because neither one of those needed to be on anyway. And if it ain't gone now, I don't know what to tell y'all. But all right. Thank you all for welcoming me back. Hey, Angel, I miss you. I miss you. And I mean that. I'm not even trying to be funny. Angel, of course, y'all know, worked down at the radio station, and she is a good person, and she's a lot of fun to talk to and a lot of fun to work with. And so, yeah, I miss her. I miss her a lot. That's really one of the only things I miss about being down there at the radio station, of course, is the people that I worked with. Let's see. There was a few things somebody brought up. I brought up something I couldn't remember. Y'all remember? I told y'all I had the coronavirus at one point. And I remember when I had the coronavirus. You ever talk to somebody or saw somebody just kind of sitting there looking kind of zoned out, and you ask them, what are you thinking about? And they like, nothing. Nothing. I wasn't thinking about nothing. And I used to always be like, whatever. You thinking about something. It's like impossible to not think about something. It's impossible. Because my mind is always racing. Just thoughts are always. And I always thought everybody was that way. Everybody's that way. Well, I remember when I had the the coronavirus, I remember saying this to Mrs. Livingston. I can't imagine. That was it. I, I was sitting there trying to think, and I couldn't think. Like I couldn't imagine. And it was such a horrible feeling to not be able to imagine. What do you mean you couldn't imagine? Like, imagine you walking down the street and you pass a McDonald's. I couldn't do that. I couldn't imagine. Period. Like I was sitting there with no thoughts running through my head. And it scared me. Because I was like, oh my God, I've never experienced this before. So I guess technically I was having that thought. But before I had that thought, it was like silence. And I wonder, do people actually sit? Do people have the ability to not have thoughts running through their head? I don't know. Hold on a second. Hold on. This might help with the buzzing. I didn't think about this. That might help with the buzzing. If there's buzzing. I just noticed that my monitors were on, and I don't normally have them on. I was mixing some stuff. No, that didn't do it either. Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I couldn't think. And I remember that. And I was like, that's horrible. That's horrible. I never want to experience that again. Never. Now everybody's still here to buzzing. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Angel. Now everybody hear me buzzing. Whereas that wasn't the case before. I have to say, I left all of this stuff on when I left. And so what I'll do after the show is I'll just shut it down and then I'll bring it back up and whatever the buzzing is go. But I'm not going to do it now because I'm not worried about the buzzing. That's Angel trying to sabotage my show. You're trying to ruin me. See, that's what you're doing. You're trying to ruin me. Oh, that's a whole other thing. She's not actually trying to ruin me. Of course, I'm just being silly. Okay, this railroad thing. Let's talk for a minute about this railroad thing. Are we for the selling of the railroad or are we against the selling of the railroad? If we are for the selling of the railroad, why? If we're against the selling of the railroad, why? Why are you for it or why are you against it? And you may or may not be able to call. You may or may not be able to call. I haven't tried out the phones. And y'all know my phones over here be acting crazy. So I haven't tried out the phones. So we'll see. But are we for the railroad sale or against it? Right now, if I had to vote today, I would vote no. But here's why I would vote no. Because I don't know enough. I don't know enough. And it's easy to say, you know, hey, change, sell it. But look, they can always put it back on the ballot next year. Or they can do a special thing and put it back on there. But I think they owe us, if you asking me to vote for something, you kind of owe me an in-depth explanation. And I was talking to Wyatt about this. And he made some points and I agreed with them. Why ain't city council out here or the people who are really pushing this, but more than anything, city manager, city council, why are they not out here telling the people? Like, look. I'm gonna just, I can only talk about me. But that's not true. I can talk about anybody. But I'm gonna talk about me. I'm no, what I'm saying, financial genius. I'm no guru. Well, I'm not a financial guru. I'm a guru in some other areas, but not financially. So I'm no financial guru. I don't understand all of the ins and outs of owning the railroad. Again, my understanding is we the only city that own the railroad. That seemed kind of interesting. Like, I don't know if you hold on to a railroad because you want to be the only city that own a rail. Maybe the other cities got rid of the railroad because they was like, it ain't worth the trouble. Maybe that's why we the only city that own a railroad. Maybe. But maybe not. I don't. Somebody should be coming to us if y'all want us to vote on this. Because we got to vote. Explaining to us what's up with the railroad. Why are we trying to sell it? Why is it a good deal to sell it? Or why is it a bad deal to sell it? Explain to me, what are the benefits other than being able to lease it? What are the benefits of owning a railroad? I feel like it's got to be some significant benefits if somebody want to buy it for $1.6 billion. At the same time, I'm not sure if the benefits are that significant. If they paying 25 million, which feels cheap to me. It feels cheap to me. $25 million a year. Like, who negotiated the lease? Because I read somewhere, and this could be not true, which is another reason why people involved in this issue should be out here educating people. So I don't believe, I'm gonna get to what the thing is, but I don't believe that you should be just telling people you should want an extremely informed electorate. And I know people like, well, you can research all of that stuff yourself. Yeah, probably could. Probably could. But you could just tell us. You could just come out and say, look, give us the history. You know what I'm saying? We got the railroad, and this is how we, became in possession of the railroad. Now, other cities had, when they built the railroad and they had railroads and they sold theirs a long time ago, but we held on to ours because it was an asset or, whatever. Tell us the history of why we got it, how we got it, and why we still got it. And tell us, why are we only getting $25 million a year for it if they want to pay us $1.6 billion for it? It sounds like every end of this deal, they getting a hell of a deal. Because if you ask me, and again, I could, to somebody who know this stuff, I could be sounding like a damn fool right now, right? But it feel to me, if I owned a railroad and the big railroad companies wanted to use my railroad and they needed my railroad, we'll give you $25 million. Damn your $25 million. Whatever you offer me, I won't double at least. $25 million sounds super cheap to lease a railroad. Well, who made the $25 million deal? And then who made the deal so that, as I read, which is what I was about to get to, as I read somewhere, that if we don't sell it, they, being the railroad or the train company, however that work, the railroad company, they can just re-up their deal for like another 25 years. No negotiation, no nothing. Who makes those kind of deals? I remember when I was renting an apartment. Somebody go ahead and say, Emanuel, an apartment is not a railroad. So I remember when I was renting an apartment, I had a lease. And everybody at the end of that lease, I had the ability to walk away. They had the ability to say, get the F out, Or basically we could go back to the table. They could increase the rent if they wanted to. I guess I could have tried to get them to decrease the rent, but chances are, that never works out like that. So you gotta can you imagine? Look, I'm renting this apartment. All right. And I'm gonna rent it for the next 12 months. All right. And then after 12 months, I get the option. I get the option. No negotiation, no nothing. I get the option if I won't rent it again for the same price. Now, maybe I'll buy the apartment and I'll offer you a price to buy this apartment. And if you say no, then I get to decide if I'm going to rent it for another year for the same price. No negotiations. Where do it work like that? Where do it work like that? You're like, no, I own this apartment building, and that's my apartment that I'm allowing you to lease. And when this lease is up, we'll talk about what we do next. If you gonna end up, if I'm gonna raise the rent, or if I'm gonna lower the rent, or if I'm even gonna rent to you anymore, if I'm gonna change any other terms in the lease. And if you don't like my terms, go find you another apartment. I feel like, again, I'm talking out of a position of ignorance, but I feel like that's kind of the way it should be working here. The city, the person who has the asset should be in the driver's seat, not the person who's leasing the asset. Why does it feel like, as they talk about this railroad, like we not in the driver's seat? Like they being the railroad, they control, well, I guess the company, that they control everything about the deal for the asset that we own. Somebody should be explaining that to me. I heard somebody say, well, you could always email your, I shouldn't have to. Some stuff, when this stuff is coming up for a vote, maybe if I just, you know what I'm saying? We ain't about to try to sell the railroad or nothing. Somebody just brought up, did you know Cincinnati own a railroad? I'm like, what? And they like, yeah, Cincinnati own a railroad. And I'm like, for real? And they like, yeah, we own it. And I'm like, what do we do with it? And they like, we rent it. I'm like, what? Yeah, we rent the railroad. To who? To the railroad company. You know, people with the trains. We let them use our railroad and they pay us some money. What? Yeah, they use it and we pay them some money. Word. Like, whoa. I need more information about this. Now let me email my council members and the city manager and go do all this research just for general knowledge. But you saying to me, hey, we want to sell it. All right. So vote yes. What? Information? Well, we only gonna use the money for infrastructure. Hold on. See, when I heard that, I'm like, that sounds tricky. To me, that sounds tricky. We could sell it, and then we can put the money in the bank, and then we only gonna spend the interest. Okay. But we could own it. And can't we just charge them more? We just charge them more. Now we can't do that. Why? Just can't. Why? Because if we don't sell it, then we got to rent it to them for the same. Who made that deal? We can't get out of that deal. Somebody need to tell me something. Tell me something. But we only gonna use the money for infrastructure. And when I first heard it, I thought, they not only using that money for no damn infrastructure. Y'all can fool some people by saying that. Some people hear stuff like that. No, it's a part of the law. And the law saying, so that's what they have to do. No. There's ways around everything. If you ain't learned nothing else about the way government work, you should know. You've been doing this for 85 years. You should know that there is always some way around this law that they put in place to say you can only use this money for this. And the way that came to my mind was, all right, they already spend money on infrastructure, right? Right. How much they spend on infrastructure now? Well, I asked PG. I'm not PG. I asked AFTAP, Mayor Pureval, how much are they spending now? He says, well, we get the $25 million from the lease. So we spend that on infrastructure. Okay. That's it. Well, no. We get other monies from other sources and grants and stuff like that. And we spend that money on infrastructure. Never actually said how much is spent. Which, if I had an opportunity for a follow-up, but again, that's some information that I'm certain I could, put in a request or do a little research and find that out. But I thought, the mayor's sitting right there. I should be able to ask him. He asking people to vote yes, so he should have these numbers. They just held a press conference. I imagine if you holding a press conference telling people to vote yes, then you gave them some reasons and some numbers. So he should have these numbers fresh in his, like in the frontal lobe. He just pulled it out real quick. He didn't. But what I learned, I'm just take what he said. What I learned was they spend allegedly $25 million that they right now get from the lease of the railroad and some other money. AJ says, I think he meant he finally did give a number. He said 60 million. Okay, I don't remember him necessarily. I remember him kind of estimating possibly around 60 million. I kind of remember that estimate. But it wasn't, relatively precise. But even if I just accept the 60 million, my math ain't that good. That sounds like 25 million from the railroad lease. And, if I'm mathing, like 35 million additional dollars, right? Right? So we got $35 million now. I say you allocate that 35 million to infrastructure. Because, look, here's what they're saying. We are not going to spend this money on anything but infrastructure. All right, that's cool. How much are we going to get from the y'all conservative estimates? So the 50 to, well, those conservative estimates, the longer he talked, those conservative estimates kept going up. We think that, we'll get at least 25 million. Conservative estimates say around 35, 40 million. And then the next time, but conservative estimates say around 50 million. And then the next time, but conservative estimates say around 60 million. And then the next time, conservative estimates say we're going to get around 70 million. And if he'd have stayed on for 2 hours, by the time it was over, we'd have been getting $1 billion every year by conservative estimates. But let's go with, I remember him saying potentially 70 million. Now you add that already coming from other sources, 35 million. That means we should be spending 105 million in infrastructure every year. That's not what's going to happen. They're like, all right, we got 70 million. That's more than what we were spending before. So now we got the surplus of $35 million to spend. And we can take that 35 million because we already spending more than we were spending on infrastructure. So now we can take that $35 million to fill in the gaps. Well, we all know what it looked like when the city or really any government entity fill in the gaps. It means spend that money on whatever you want to spend it on. That's what it means. That's what it means. Well, no, but you can only spend that money on infrastructure, not the money that you taken from infrastructure. You can spend that on whatever the hell you want to spend it on. I need some assurances that that money is going to somehow benefit the black community. At least. At least. See, I'm black. I'm black. As a black person, I'll be thinking, in terms of black and white. So I'll be thinking in terms of black and white. Some people don't like that. Some people, oh, everything ain't black and white. Shouldn't be. A lot of times, most times, almost all the time, I think, what can black people get? If you asking black people for their vote, what do they get out of the vote? Because I saw somebody put up something. Somebody put up something and kept asking the question, but black people, if y'all so against selling the railroad, because, y'all don't want to sell the railroad if y'all ain't getting them, but y'all ain't getting nothing now, so what's the difference? The difference is we want to get something. We want to get something. If you tell me, I need your vote. I need your vote. What I get out the deal? Well, the deal's going to be great for Cincinnati, and the roads are going to be better than they were before. And, we'll be able to make sure that we maintain roads in some of the neighborhoods that have been not serviced appropriately. Well, number one, there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. Unless that's in the bill. Is it in the bill that black people going to get, that historically black neighborhoods in Cincinnati, or not historically, but predominantly black neighborhoods in Cincinnati are going to get a greater portion of infrastructure money than any other neighborhood? Put that in the bill. I'll vote for it. Put that in the bill. I'll vote for it. Put some wording in there, honestly, that says, look, we're going to have this money for infrastructure, and we're going to do surveys on a regular basis to see where there are large concentrations of black people. And where there are large concentrations of black people, they will get the bulk of the infrastructure money to help their neighborhoods and the infrastructure around them. I'll be all right. I'll vote for that. That's not going to happen, though. You and me both know that's not going to happen. I don't even know. Sorry, that's my stomach. I don't even know that they can do that. But what they can do, well, they might not be able to do that either. I think they can do anything they want to do, because that's what they do. They do anything they want to do. Take that $35 million that you going to take from infrastructure, because they going to take it. They going to take it. They're going to take it and they're going to give it to 3CDC or something like that. Hell, truth of the matter is 3CDC going to get a nice chunk of this infrastructure money. Oh, we're a development corporation and we need some improvements around the areas that we're going to be. Well, we're developing this, and, I know we can't work on any new infrastructure, but we're tearing this building down and we're building another building. That counts as existing infrastructure. We need some of that railroad money. 3CDC going to have a hand in that railroad money. Look, y'all, it's tricks around all of this stuff. I think Lincoln accidentally asked him that question. Lincoln accidentally asked him that question, and that was what he put out. Like, yeah, you can work on, you can only work on existing infrastructure. So that means we can't even build a new firehouse with this money. And I think Lincoln was like, well, what about tearing down an old firehouse and building a new one? Well, yeah, I think we could do that. So come on, I'm a lot of things, and I might be stupid, but I'm not that stupid that I don't see that now 3CDC can come in and say, look, we want to tear this down and build this in its place. That's existing infrastructure. Sure, there you go. There's $20 million. And they'll be able to say, oh, we spent $20 million. I know that came from the railroad, but we spent $20 million of the railroad money with 3CDC, but it was existing infrastructure. We don't like that parking lot no more. We need a new, bigger parking lot. Here's another $35 million, 3CDC. It's existing infrastructure. Just tear that one down, build a new one. You could buy the parking lot for $1. I need some assurances. As it stands right now, I say no. No. No right now. Plan out something. Let's have some conversations about it. We need to get together and figure out what it is that we want. But I say, as a black community as a whole, we say no right now. We can come back and redo it next year. What do you think? What's the is it Norfolk Southern? They're the ones trying to buy it. You think they not gonna want it next year or in 6 months? You think they're gonna be like, well, they voted no, so we never want to buy it again. We never want that bargain basement deal again. They're gonna say, if this all go down the way that, I kind of hope it go down. We say no. They're going to say to Norfolk Southern or whoever the railroad company, the rail company is, all right, give us a minute. Let us put this back on the ballot. We going to sell you this railroad before it's all said and done. We're going to figure out a way to get this railroad in your hands. They ain't, F it. We don't want the railroad no more. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So it gives us time, voting no, in my opinion, gives us time to sit down and figure out what we want. And then to sit down with the city and figure out how to get it to us. So you get what you want, the railroad get what they want, and we get what we want. It's not just a win-win, it's a win-win-win. That's kind of just the way I see it right now. Kind of the way I see it right now. Okay, hold on. Anthony says, I'm leaning towards yes. I know everybody's saying they all the same. They who all the same. Yet, I have seen this council try to do more than past administrations. Figure I'll give them a chance. Either way, I ain't losing anything. You might be. You might be. Or even if you're not losing anything, you might not be gaining something that you could potentially gain. If that make any sense. And I'll give them a chance. I have a bit of an untrusting nature, just period. I do. I have to admit it. I'm an untrusting person. But of government, I'm really untrusting. Y'all remember, what was it that they were talking about that tax was going to sunset? Was it the stadium tax? When we voted for the stadium tax, which a lot of us told y'all not to do, when we voted for the stadium tax, and they promised all of this stuff that they was going to do, that some of it they didn't do, but one of the things that they promised, I think it was the stadium tax. I might be thinking of a different tax. I'm certain I'm thinking of a different tax. But there was a tax that was supposed to sunset. I mean, it was supposed to go away. And a couple years ago, They came to us and was like, well, we know 20 years ago we said that this was going to sunset in 20 years, but, we need that money now. So it's not going to sunset. But it's not that big of a deal because you're not going to have to pay no new taxes. You're just going to be paying the taxes that you were already paying. And people was like, yeah, that's right. I'm not losing anything, but you are losing something. You're losing that money that you wouldn't be taxed. But I'm already paying it, but you would have it back. So because you said, I'm not losing anything, but you could be gaining something and you giving up gaining. To me, that's a net loss. That's a net loss. But I understand. Some people like, it's a railroad. I didn't even know we had a railroad. It's gonna be money. Money is money. And if we get more money now than we getting, than we get now, then hey. But for real, we probably could be like, hey, that's not enough money. Or, we don't want to sell it. But and I don't know if this can happen because they probably did a terrible lease, kind of like they did with that stadium. And they get into these leases and they don't care. They give away everything. So probably when this whole thing went down and we started leasing the Norfolk Southern or whoever, and they was like, we give y'all $25 million. And it was like $25 million. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. But it was like 1922. You know what I'm saying? So $25 million was a lot of money. It's 2023 now. It's been 101 years. And we still getting the same amount of money, but hey, we ain't gonna never need no more money than 25 million. That's gonna be plenty. That'll get us through. But then let's put, and the Norfolk is put. Well, let's put in the deal that's the price frozen for eternity. But I can't ever see us needing more than 25 million. So go ahead, put that in the deal. It's a great deal. What about inflation? That's a great deal. Inflation is never going to rise to the point to $25 million. Anybody would need more than $25 million to put new bricks in these cobblestone roads. My history might not be all that good. But the point is, we can't even raise the price. But throughout the universe in perpetuity, we can't raise the price on the lease on the property that we own because some city official somewhere back in the past said this is good enough forever. No more negotiations ever. That don't sound like, but these ain't those people. These are different people. We got to be able to trust somebody. And maybe if they was out here telling us the details, like real details, break it down to us. I'm not a financial genius. You are a financial genius. And you're a financial genius. And you're a financial genius. Everybody's a financial genius except me. All right? So I'm not a financial genius. So explain it to me like a sixth grader. Sierra, I'm gonna reach out. Actually, I'm gonna reach out to him and see if I can get him on. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if I can get him on. She says, have the mayor on the experiment. I'm gonna reach out to him, see if I can get him on. And of course, the city manager. Because I don't know. But I do feel like we can leverage. Fail it this time. Vote no this time. If we, this is the city of Cincinnati. If we all, those of us who go out and vote, who are black in Cincinnati, if we all vote no, it's a good chance this thing go down. We know they still want the sale. Now they come to us and they say, what do we have to do to get you to agree to sell this asset? Because we want to sell it really bad. But when we do that, we need to have an answer. We need to have an answer. I don't have an answer. I'll be honest. I don't think everybody on council is qualified to come and talk to us about this stuff. Everybody on council, because look, here's who on council. Here's who on council. People like you and me. I could run for council, right? I'm, in theory, I could run for council in November. I know that's all locked up. So in reality, I can't, but I'm saying in theory. I could run for council in November. I could get elected to council in November because to some degree it's just a popularity contest. And I know how to play the game. I just don't like to play the game. But I could get out here and, and I'm hesitant to say this because it's going to sound like I'm saying everybody on council does this. But I would have to do this in order to get elected to council. But not everybody has to do this. But I can, step and fetch it and all that kind of stuff. And, be, I wouldn't wear this shirt while I was campaigning. Okay. I can do stuff like that. I can become, look at me. Look at me. If you just look at me, I'm a very non-threatening black man. You know what I'm saying? I could shave my mustache. I don't have much of it anyway. I could shave my mustache off, walk around clean faced and, talking, relatively conservative stuff and possibly get elected. I still ain't gonna know nothing about finances to the degree of being able to intelligently and articulately demonstrate the benefits or, the drawbacks of selling the railroad. But I'm on council. They just people like you and me who we looked at and we said, I will loan you my voice. You go represent me. You go speak for me. You go vote for me. That's all they are. And I'm sure there's some people up there who have a much better grasp of things. But some of them up there, I guarantee you, if you ask them right now, they like, I don't know, the mayor said it was a good deal. The city manager told me it was a good deal. But they don't really know. They don't have a background in that. I saw where Sierra says you work with advisors. Yeah, but who are the, I be paying attention to, some of the council aides and all of that kind of stuff. And a lot of them know less than the council people. And that's not taking a shot at them. But a lot of them, they hire their friends and all of that kind of stuff. People who help them in the campaign and they give them a position to give them an in sometimes so that potentially later on down the road they can run. But none of them know nothing. That's just the truth. That's not me trying to be harsh towards anybody. There's nobody down there right now that I'm like, oh, I don't like him. Oh, I don't like her. They're not doing no, national search for advisors so that they can pay them a little bit of money to be on their staff and all that kind of stuff. You know who their advisors are for the most part? The mayor, the other council persons, the city manager, the people running this city. Those are their advisors. They might know somebody in the business community, and that'll end up being one of their advisors. Activists and people like that who are involved. And I'm not even saying those are bad advisors, but they may or may not know the ins and outs of the railroad business. So they don't know. Potentially. Possibly. They don't know. Look, I'm going to pick on Scotty. I'm only picking on Scotty because I like Scotty. Scotty has done a lot of work. You want to know something about policing? I say Scotty's probably the go-to dude on council. Law enforcement and, anything in that arena. You want to know maybe about preaching and the Lord? You know what I'm saying? Scotty might be your dude. Oh, somebody said put up the chat. My bad. See, nobody told me that before, and I don't be thinking about all of that. Y'all know I had coronavirus. But, the Lord and all that stuff, Scotty might be your dude. You want somebody to advise me on whether or not to sell the railroad? Scotty might not be the best dude to thoroughly go into the explanation of that. It don't mean he not smart. It don't mean somebody ain't even explained it to him. But that's not his background, to my knowledge. Now, for all I know, hell, Scotty might be a damn railroad engineer in his previous life before he was a police officer. But to my knowledge, that's not his background. So he might not be able to be the best person to give me the best information. I'm not, because I saw Wyatt said, no excuses. No excuses. City council should be more vocal in a $1.6 billion acquisition. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but I am saying that they might not be the best people to inform us. Because really, my guess is, and again, I could be wrong. But my guess is, ain't none of them experts in selling railroads. And then all of the other things that come with selling a railroad. So they probably just going to be telling us what other people told them. So let us talk to the people that's telling you what to tell us so that we can ask the questions that maybe you didn't think to ask. Preston says that's a good reason not to sell. We aren't liable for anything. We just own the land and we're profit off of. We don't need to know anything about railroads. I don't know if that's true. And I'm taking it back to, something I know about. I've leased apartments before. So I'm just taking it back to that. I understand it's different, more than likely, but some stuff that go on in my apartment, the landlord, the person who owned that building, they might still be liable for. So the idea that, well, we only own the land, so we're not liable for what happened, that may or may not be true. I don't know. Somebody should tell us that. See what I'm saying, Preston? You. To be fair, you're not the first person that's ever brought that up, but you brought that up. Did when these people were selling this to city council, maybe did the city council people bring that up? Like, hold on, who's liable right now if one of these trains fall off the track? You know, and we want our money back. Who's liable? I couldn't help but to say that part. I tried to not say it, but if the train jumped the track, do you want your money back? Hell yeah, I want my money back. But I remembered it as a kid. Anyway, if one of these trains fall off the track and spill something, are we liable if it was on our railroad tracks? Tell us, somebody tell us. Tell us. But I'm a no on it right now. And if I don't get more information, if I don't hear people giving more information, I'm a no on it. And if I don't hear something that benefit me, and by me I mean Black Cincinnati, I'm a no on it. Daryl says, check your phone line. I don't look like I missed no call. Hold on, let me call me. I'll do it, because if y'all do it, then I'll have 800 calls coming in. That's not true. It's only like 66 people watching. But let me call and see, is my phone line working? Okay, the phone line is working. I didn't see a call. I didn't see a call. Preston says that's what they've been pitching to us. I'm going off what I just recently heard in regards of the issue. Even Lucan said that. I'm gonna tell you this, and it's gonna sound like I'm taking a shot, but I'm not taking a shot. You can't trust Charlie Lucan. You can't trust information that you get from Charlie Lucan. Just so y'all know. You can't trust information. What Charlie Lucan said. And I only tell y'all this because it's, I try to talk. Some stuff I know. Some stuff I can't really say. I can't get into no details. But I'm not necessarily saying that Charlie Lucan is a liar or that he's lying about something. But I am going to tell you, don't be trusting Charlie Lucan. Don't take his word for nothing. He might be telling the truth. There's a good chance that he won't be too. But he's a former mayor, and there's a combined 40 years of experience between the former mayor of Avengers. Oh. Let me tell y'all this. I like, every time I've met him, I hesitate, y'all, because I be trying to make sure that what I'm saying is what I mean to say. And y'all know me, I'm very sensitive about not taking unnecessary shots at people and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't want to try to sell myself to be more than what I am. So I try to be very particular with the words that I choose. I've met Avtab Pureval a few times. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I would say I've liked Avtab Pureval. But that don't necessarily mean Avtab Pureval is always telling the truth or, saying whatever is best for the city, for the people. Okay? Um, so, but you wouldn't hear me saying right now, don't trust AvTab PureVol. Somebody else might say that, and they might have their legitimate reasons why. But he's not done anything that I've looked at and said, that is an obvious reason to not trust that guy. So if I'm telling you, don't trust somebody, it's because, and you may choose to take, my little advice or leave it. But if I'm telling you not to trust somebody, it's because I've seen and or heard something. Felt something vibrating on my desk. I've seen or heard something to make me know that they're not trustworthy. To make me know that. Just like I told Lincoln, don't trust Harry Black. Because I know what I saw. I'm telling you. Don't be out there trusting Charlie Lukin. I'm telling you. Now you can take that and do with it what you will. But that's that. Oh, somebody asked about Lincoln blocking today on for the mayor. He didn't block my question. He didn't block my question. He did block for the mayor. It was a minor point, but it's a point that sticks with me and that I hate. I'm switching gears. I hate when I hear people encourage people to engage in acts of violence. And I know that that's not what they mean to do when they say some of the stuff that they say. But it's the actual message that they're sending. And when he talked about, basically going back to the days of fist fights behind the swing set, you're encouraging violence. That's encouraging violence. Every time I hear these older dudes, long for the days when they could just get in and, have a fight. Like, y'all do realize punching somebody is violence. And they like to talk about it like, oh, it's all good. But at least it's not a gun. No. That's not necessarily good. I understand what you're trying to say. But you have to understand what you actually saying. You saying it's all right to punch people. Y'all remember the knockout game? Y'all remember the knockout game? I remember the knockout game. I bet you there's one person out there like, what is the knockout game? Not too long ago. I couldn't tell you when. It felt like about 20 years ago. It was a game that people would play. I don't know if it was through social media or what. But it was a thing that young people would do. I imagine some older people who were, very immature as well would do. But some young people, they would be walking down the street, see somebody, and run, knock them out. It was the knockout game. They would sock them, like in the jaw, and knock them out, just right on the street, and then boom, they would run. And there were videos of it. It was like a sensation. It was like a viral sensation. The knockout game. You know what that was? That was people punching people. Well, they wasn't using guns. No, that's still violence. And the idea that, every time I hear these old people longing for the days of fist fights, what about instead of asking people to go back to fighting, you encourage people to not engage in acts of violence, period? Well, I'm not encouraging people to fight. I'm just saying that there was a time when they would do that. And that's why I was glad when he was like, look, I understand what you're saying. Be more careful as I choose my words. That was it. That was enough for me. I mean, he understood what I was saying, even though that wasn't necessarily what he meant. But Lincoln, no, he didn't say that people see my, and you understand, and he didn't say that. I'm like, Lincoln, calm the F down. He a grown A man. I understand he a guest in your studio, but I'm clearly not attacking. You don't have to block me. Or you don't have to block for him in that way. So that was what I meant when I said he was blocking. Not that he blocked me from getting on air or blocked me from asking a question. He wanted to make sure that the mayor felt comfortable in the studio and that he didn't have to field any tough questions without his help. That's blocking to me. Diane says, sometimes you have to put up your dukes to defend yourself. Sometimes you may have to, but I'm not encouraging people to go out there and fight. I'm not longing for the days when people go fight. If you have to defend yourself, you have to defend yourself. So that's that. That's that. But I have to say this because I put this in the chat on the Lincoln Ware show. And I know everybody don't be on the Lincoln Ware show. Everybody don't see every comment on the chat. When y'all hear me taking shots at Lincoln Ware, that's just me being me towards Lincoln. He understand, hopefully, he understand it is what it is. It's the way we relate to one another. Y'all don't hear it for whatever reason, but Lincoln takes a lot of shots at me. I'm not bent out of shape about it. That's the way we relate to one another. It's cool. But I appreciate Lincoln Ware bringing these people to the radio station, giving us an opportunity to ask questions to the extent that he does. I appreciate it. I understand that a lot of times you're not going to get real answers. A lot of times you are just not going to get real answers. But sometimes you use that as an opportunity to float the idea to get other people to think about it. I was talking to somebody. I ain't going to say who. I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about the fact that, look. This is going to be offensive to some of y'all. Some of y'all going to be offended by this. I'm comfortable with y'all being offended, okay? I don't want y'all to be offended, but I'm comfortable with y'all being offended. But some of y'all ain't that smart. It's true. Some of y'all ain't that smart. And for some of y'all, people have to take y'all by the hand and y'all kicking and fighting the whole way and drag you along to get you to think a thing or to realize a thing or whatever. Now, I don't say it's the minority. I would say some names, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to call nobody out. And don't worry about it. If you think I'm talking about you, like you thinking and you like, is he talking about me? I'm probably not talking about you. The people who I'm actually talking about, they probably too not smart. They not smart enough to even realize that I'm talking about them because they think they brilliant, but they not. And you have to walk them along the road. Say some name player. I don't even think I have to. I don't even think I have to now. Sometimes, what is that thing that they say? A hit dog holler. Sometimes you don't have to say names. Sometimes It just becomes evident. Oh, sometimes it just becomes evident all on its own. And so sometimes you have to walk. So sometimes you ask a question on, the Lincoln Ware show. You know you're not gonna get an actual answer, but the question ain't necessarily to get an answer. The question is for other people to think, oh, it's an interesting question. Maybe I hadn't thought about that. And then you end up being the bad guy for asking the question that you asked. But later on, it turns out he might have been on to something. I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about people in general. So I'm telling y'all why I like it when Lincoln Ware brings guests on the radio station, even the ones that aren't gonna actually answer any questions. You don't have to get on there and get them shook, because the good ones, the ones who real good about lying and all that kind of stuff, they're not gonna get shook. They already know I'm not answering that question. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to take that question and I'm going to pivot to something else. And it's going to seem to some people like I actually answered the question, but I'm not going to answer the question. And they think that we all dumb and don't realize that that's what they did. But what they don't realize is that some of us, or some of y'all, are not asking the question to them to get an answer. You're asking the question to them to put the information out. And people can look at their response and see how they pivot. And like, hold on, he didn't answer that question. Let me look into that. And then you realize, oh, that's why he pivoted instead of answering the question. So then you get a little nugget and you can take that and run with it. Or maybe you get to see he's a liar. Or maybe you get to see he don't answer. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. So it's always valuable, even when they don't answer questions, and even when Lincoln Ware blocks for them. It's always valuable. That's why I don't always say it, but I'm always appreciative when he brings guests on. Because, most times I don't call in to talk to the guests. I just sit back and listen. And I'll be like, ooh, that's a good question. How is he going to not answer it? Ooh, that's a good question. How is he going to not answer that one? Oh, that was a good idea. How is he going to discredit that woman? There's always something to listen for when he brings guests on. Most guests. The guest is on there talking about, I got a chicken spot. If you like chicken, go maybe. But I'm talking, political and all that type of stuff. Let me see. What else? Oh, I didn't give y'all, I'm pivoting again. I didn't give y'all an update on the little baby and the bullying situation. It's over. The bullying situation is over. I was so proud of her mama and her daddy. Her daddy made a trip up from Houston and they got together. This was like a few days after I had said if they don't do something. He made a trip from Houston. He came up. They got, even though they had been resisting, they got the parents together. They got the administration together. They got the teachers together. They had a conference. And they handled the whole bullying situation. It's over. Little baby says she don't do nothing to her no more. She just trying to be her friend. Little baby don't want to be her friend because she bullied her. That's how she refers to her, as my bully. My bully trying to be my friend now. I'd be like, you could forgive her if you wanted to. I'm not going to forgive my bully. I'm not mad at her, but I don't want to be her friend. Like, oh, okay, I understand. I ain't mad at you. I understand what you're saying. My bully was trying to talk to me today, grandfather. Did you talk to her? No, I didn't talk to her because she used to bully me. Like, all right, you could forgive her. You could talk to her if you wanted to. She don't want to talk to her. So That's that. That they handled it. He came up. They got together. They handled it, and he went back home. So hey, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. Let me see. It was something else that I wanted to discuss that I meant to discuss with y'all. Oh, I guess just real quick. Let me thank everybody for the birthday wishes. Everybody for the birthday wishes. I didn't really see none of them until like Sunday evening because I was busy when I was in Florida doing this show. There's a whole lot that goes into this stuff, and I was busy. But uh, how was the gospel Superfest to be exact? So, branding and all that kind of stuff. That's important. Uh, but it was good. Like the show ended up being really good. I didn't hear, and from time to time when we do the show, you'll hear little stuff like, oh, it was a little bit too much time in between artists, or oh, you didn't really get enough time to get into praise and worship. It was more like just a show instead of a praise and or worship experience, or this artist didn't do that good, or this person was a little weak, or the sound wasn't good, or anything. You hear any number of complaints, but I heard nothing but good feedback this year. Nothing but good feedback. So you can't beat that. You can't beat that. And I don't. Maybe I'm not even supposed to say this. One of the executives from BET was there, and they were really excited. They were really excited about the show because it'll be airing on BET like Christmas Eve and then again on Christmas Day. So they were really excited about the show. Like, when are we gonna get the final product? And like, calm down. We gonna get it to you. Relax. Um. So yeah, it was good. Diane says, who performed? Oh, oh. Um, Demetrius West and the Jesus Promoters. Um, Beverly Crawford. Um, I'm trying. Crystal Aiken. Um, Lejeune, Shirley Murdoch. She sings gospel now. Lejeune and Shirley Murdoch. Melvin Crispell the third. Ricky Dillard and New G. Donnie McClurkin. There's a whole lot of people that I'm forgetting. John P. Key, who got mad at me. Oh, John P. Key got mad at me. They closed out the show, and they did what they do. But he got mad at me during sound check, and then he remembered it before the show. Because I almost had to kick him off the stage. They wasn't doing anything wrong, but they were making my sound check last too long. They were making my sound check last too long. And I'm like, I'm out of town. I got other artists waiting to sound check. You've been up, and a lot of it was not his fault. It wasn't his fault, but I got to move on. And he got a little mad at me. Not like too mad. It was half joking but half serious. Like, oh, you just gonna put me off the stage. And I'm like, bruh, you don't see all these people, they all waiting to sound check. And he was like, all right, I go. But if I can't get 5 minutes. And then the executive producer was like, you can have 5 minutes. And he was like, yeah, you was trying to kick me off the stage, but I got my 5 minutes, And then so when he came back and it was time for him to perform almost, and I went walking by and he was like, that's the dude that tried to kick me off the stage this morning. That's the dude. Yeah, I remember you tried to kick me off the stage. So it was, it wasn't like real, but I don't think he appreciated me trying to kick him off the stage. But we got to laugh out of it. We got to laugh out of it. It was all good. Um, Sometimes, as the stage manager, you got to make that call. You got to make that call. We got time restrictions, but it all turned out good, and it ended up being a really good show. It ended up being a really good show, and it's something that I'm proud to say I was a part of. And then of course the drive back. Yes, I drove back from Jacksonville in a U-Haul because there was some equipment that we had that would have cost too much to fly some of that equipment back or to just get rid of it. And so we bring certain parts of the set back to store, and maybe some of the flooring or different set pieces that we bring back cost too much to ship, cost too much to store, cost too much to throw. I mean, down there cost too much to throw. You put it on a U-Haul truck, bring it back, and you store it here. So I got an opportunity to drive the U-Haul truck back, and yeah, that was a nice long drive through from Florida to Georgia to South Carolina to North Carolina to Tennessee to Kentucky, home. And because of that, I'm still tired. I'm still tired because life don't stop too. Life don't stop too. Life don't stop either. Life don't stop. So just because I got home early in the morning and then tried to get some sleep didn't mean I didn't still have obligations to do yesterday. So I didn't get hardly any sleep yesterday. And I slept a decent amount last night, like a normal amount, but I'm like backed up on sleep. So I am still tired. I almost didn't make it on today. I was like, look, I could just take a nap. I could take a nap. It'd be all right if I come on tomorrow. But I was like, nope, I promised the people that I would be back. So I'm back. Lonzo said, you took the long way. No, I didn't. Actually, I believe the way that I took is the shorter way than going, through Atlanta. I mean, the difference is like either 10 or 15 miles, one way or the other. The distance time-wise was like, 10 or 15 minutes. I took the way that I knew based on when I was leaving that I wouldn't end up, because I left out Monday. I left out Monday afternoon. So when I left at for the time when I would have hit rush hour traffic. If I would have went the other way, I might have hit rush hour traffic around Atlanta or somewhere, I didn't want to hit any rush hour traffic. And the way that I went, I hit no rush hour traffic. Plus it was some rain happening over central Georgia. They were having bad weather, not horrible weather, just rain. I didn't want to drive through no rain. So I took a route where I missed all the rain. I didn't get rained on, not one moment. Not one moment. I didn't hit a drop of rain. So I chose the right path to get home. I got an idea what I'm doing. I have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. Daryl says, and them uncomfortable U-Hauls for 16 hours. Yeah. And they kept telling me, like, look, if you get tired, pull over, get a hotel room, and you can finish the drive tomorrow. I was like, okay, I appreciate that. I understand that. But I didn't get tired. So I was cool. Plus, I was on the phone for a lot of the time. I was on the phone with Mrs. Livingston. She talked me through probably half the trip. So that was cool too. Just to, be on the phone. I realized we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. Like, we were on the phone for at least 8 hours straight and just talking like there was no lull in the conversation for 8 straight hours. So we talked like we were sitting right next to each other, laughing and talking and just having a good time. So I was like, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But at some point, I told her to go get some rest. And she was like, you sure you gonna be tired? And I was like, no, I'm good. If I get tired, I'll pull over. Like, ain't none of this worth dying for. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got that flooring halfway there, and then I fell asleep at the wheel and died. No, that's not gonna happen. That's not. No, I don't intend on dying over nothing stupid or anything like that. So yes, if I get tired, I go to sleep. I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna grab a hotel. I'm gonna get in the bed, and I'm gonna go to sleep. So she was like, "All right, that was that. That was that." That drive from Vegas to LA and then back to Vegas killed me. And that was a total of like 6.5 hours. Here is what I think helped me. I keep telling y'all I have insomnia. So I will lay there in the bed and can't go to sleep. And again, my mind just racing. So it doesn't allow me to go to sleep. So what I did when I hung up with her, I didn't have the radio on or nothing. I just drove in silence. And my thoughts would not allow me to be sleepy. And I was like, finally, this daggone insomnia benefits me. Because finally, I'm not sleepy. I don't need to be asleep. I couldn't go to sleep if I wanted to. Let me see. I got a call coming in. Hold on. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. Caller.
Hello? It's Jason.
You said David?
Jason.
Jason. Hey, what's up, Jason?
What's going on? I was listening earlier. I couldn't call in because I was at work when you were talking about the railroad.
Uh-huh.
It kind of thinking about the property. Are we talking about the railroad down there by Union Terminal all the way back up to almost 74?
I'm not 100% sure of where it starts and where it ends, but yes.
But that's the basic, in general, that's the area that we're talking about.
I believe so, yes.
Don't 1.6 seem a little light for that much land?
Yes, it does.
And my other thing I was saying, the first thing I thought was they ain't got no lawyer that could tear through that little lease or whatever it is.
It was probably drawn up ironclad like that Bengals lease.
Man, that's ironclad 100 years ago. I only say it. I'm coming from the viewpoint of somebody like when they want, like say, and I'm gonna bring race into it. Say if that was black people's land right there and they wanted it, but they had ironclad, they would find a way to get that land. Like, so why can't the city find a way to screw the railroad company to get some money? Because they always crying broke.
Because the railroad company is not black people. They have expectations. They know what they want, and they demand it. And they got a piece of paper to say that they can get what they want.
And they somehow, some way, they could finagle them. And even if it wasn't black folks, white folks have been known to swindle each other when it comes time for them to get their cut, and they want a bigger cut. So, like they could do something like this. Can't go down like another Bengals stadium or Red stadium. Like somebody got to put their foot down. This is why I won't buy any more property inside the city limits. Like it's managed by morons and clowns.
Well,
it's like
I think that the situation as it is, based on my limited reading of information regarding this, it's basically that lease is like ironclad. Like, it uses simple language that they can't get around. And so it is what it is. And do I honestly believe they could find a way around it if they wanted to? More than likely, yeah. They could find a way to do whatever they wanted to do. But I don't trust these people that they're looking out for the best interests of the people or even of the city. they're looking out for the best interest of whatever plan it is that they have in mind. Because you can't convince me that these people who plan 20, 30, 40 years out what they're going to do don't already have a plan for that money coming from the railroad, or for the residual money that they won't spend on infrastructure once they get that money from the railroad. They know what they want to do, and all they need is you're okay to do it.
Yeah, is that a county ballot or is that just the city of Cincinnati ballot?
City.
Nah, I can't vote in that because I would definitely go out and put a stamp of no on that. A 100% no. They always up to something, and it be in Cincinnati. They like the suckers. They see the short cheese and don't even see the long money. Like I said, 1.6 seemed real light for that much area and where it's at.
And
I
again,
mean,
I don't buy land, I don't sell land, I don't have assets of to that degree. So I don't. I agree that with my ignorant self, and I'm ignorant when it comes to that. It seems really light, but for all I know, that's the fair market value. I don't know.
man, you don't get no fair market value. Like we need that money. If you doing this for the city, you supposed to be making the most money you can off of that land. At one point, it's light. Like that seemed like that might be a quarter of what it's worth actually, because they already set up in there. Raise their taxes, start hitting them with all kind of stuff. They can do something. Like they can run people out of Norwood for their house so they can build that garbage little shopping center they got now. They can run that railroad pocket.
I,
I don't
I'm
like it.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
That's all I really had on that. I just wanted to, because I didn't understand how iron tight or airtight or whatever you call a contract that you can't break. Like somebody somewhere can get them out of that. I just don't think they want to look for it. They want to use that as an excuse, like, oh, well, we couldn't get out of it, so we instead of doing this, we just sold it to them for a song. Like we did the stadium. It's a good deal for y'all. And then 10 years from now, we'll still be looking at that railroad from 75 and 74 that's not finished and saying, damn, these motherfuckers are stupid.
Well,
But that's all I really had. And I don't like the mayor of Cincinnati either. He reminded me of Obama. He ran on false promises.
all right.
All right.
I appreciate it. I don't have a problem with AFTAP. I genuinely don't have a problem with AFTAP. He's not one that I could say, don't trust him. Now, give it a little bit, and maybe, he'll come up with a couple things, and I'll be like, he lied right there. And like, he got called online, and then but I haven't seen that. So I don't have that issue with AFTAP Pureval. I don't. Davis Denise puts a link in there, and I know y'all don't understand this, but I can't click on that link here. So after the show, and after I go do what it is that I have to do, and then maybe after I, go to sleep and then wake up tomorrow, because I am still sleepy, then maybe I'll be able to read that. Does anybody know what the city has made over the years? Over the years? I don't know. I don't know. But they've had it apparently for like ever. I imagine they've been leasing it out forever. So if they making $25 million a year, that's a lot of money. 25 million times forever. It's a lot of money. Hold on, let me go back to the phone. Marquetta. Hello.
Howdy, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you so much.
You are gray, so you getting up in age.
I'm 53 years old.
Hey, praise God, you made another year.
Word.
Now, was that professional work or was that church work you went out of town to do?
That was professional work. That was not associated with the church.
I'm happy for you. That's good. That's good. I hope that you become visible on the corporate level with BET.
Right.
That's good. Because I've worked in church. I know how hard it is to get the sound ready for them gospel fest concerts. And gospel concerts be jamming.
All right. Well, I didn't
I
really, all I did was manage the stage. Well, I say all the night of the show. All I did was manage the stage. We had sound people and lighting people and all that good stuff.
so what you was guiding them off the stage when it was time for them to go.
Get them on when they supposed to get on. Make sure they are where they are. Make sure they go in where they supposed. Because a lot goes into that. Like you think,
Hmm.
think about Tell me a rapper's name.
I don't know, sexy red.
All right. So Sexy Red gonna be on the BET Awards performing, right? You think what?
Uh-huh.
Sexy Red, there's a certain place that Sexy Red has to be that she comes out. Because the camera had to be able to get her. And lighting has to have lighting on her when she comes out. So if she's supposed to come out stage right, she need to come out stage right. Is she coming out upstage or downstage? She should already have the right mic that she's supposed to have. All of that stuff has to be coordinated and communicated to everybody. Well, that was my job. For every
Oh, that's
artist that's gonna come on stage, they gotta be where they supposed to be, have what they supposed to have, do what they supposed to do. Lighting gotta know, sound gotta know, the cameras have to know, the director gotta know, all of that stuff. Yeah,
so you met Donnie McClurkin.
yeah, yeah,
How cool is that? That's cool.
yeah. He told me to hold his glasses while he performed. he forgot he had them in his pocket.
So I was calling in. I don't live in Cincinnati anymore. But don't you feel like something is criminal about 3CDC and the Port Authority?
Yes, yes, I do.
Don't you feel like something is evil and somehow underhanded?
It
What
is.
in the world?
I'll stop short of evil, but it is definitely underhanded, and it definitely is was a way for the city to do stuff that the city wanted to do, but that the city was not legally able to do, and they found
Mhm.
a way around so they could do what they wanted to do and still remain within the law. That's what
Did,
3CDC is.
did Cincinnati ever vote in the Port Authority in 3CDC? Did we ever get a say so on those entities being
I'm trying to
developed?
think, did we vote on 3CDC or the port? I don't think we did.
We just kind of got them.
Yeah, I think so.
And ain't Lucan on the Port Authority's board
I,
and somehow involved with 3CDC?
I'm not sure if he is actually still on either of those boards. I know that he was very much involved with the creation of 3CDC, and I know he had a lot of dealings with the port, but I don't know if he's actually still actively involved.
That's some scary stuff because it sounds like they skip city council and just go straight into their pet projects with taxpayer dollars, and there's like no real accountability. I was listening to him on the show, Mr. Leeper,
Yeah, and
on the show a couple. Go
just
ahead,
so
I'm
you
sorry.
know, what you're saying is exactly the reason that 3CDC was created, because they did not want to have to deal with the red tape of all of this stuff. They wanted it's a way for the city to do what the city wants to do without the city being involved in it. So they don't have to deal with all of those entities. That's the sole reason 3CDC was created.
Listen at that. Because I heard Mr. Leeper come on the Mr. Ware show and say that they spent $35 million on Ziegler Park, I think it is, the swimming pool. Or is
Okay.
it Smiley? Not Smiley. I think it was Ziegler. $35 million on a swimming pool and y'all don't have housing? Hello?
Uh-huh.
And then he said, in jest, towards the end of the conversation, he said, I guess we could come up with something like a midnight basketball program. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that. When he was on, I wasn't here, and so I was in the cell phone lot waiting to pick up somebody. So I was in and out. So I didn't hear everything that he had to say, but I can say that a lot of what I heard sound really sketchy and suspect. And hold on a second, Twin, you keep calling. Call me when Marquetta hangs up. That's when I don't have multiple lines, so you gotta wait until a person goes off before you can call back. So when Marquetta goes off, you can call back and I'll get your call. Go ahead, Marquetta.
So I also heard Mr. Leeper say that he get a salary for his nonprofit role, for his nonprofit, and for the nonprofit corporation that is 3CDC that operates off of public tax dollars. Did he get like $500,000 a year
But he did
on a
say that a
nonprofit?
lot of that was deferred, as if that makes it better.
I'm so hurt and confused right now because I don't live in Cincinnati anymore. Praise God, you get what you pay for. But all my family and friends do, and I noticed that we're just kind of like, I don't even want to say it afterthought because I could tell you. Well, let me just go ahead. Real estate investment trust funds is kind of like what the Port Authority is, even though they won't say that. A real estate investment trust will go in and they'll buy a whole city block. And because it's a real estate investment trust, people get money, once those things start making money. But that sounds kind of like what the Port Authority does. It sounds like they take possession of public property, rehab it with public dollars, but they sell it or they use it somehow for private use. I don't know how that works. I ain't going to be too much longer with you, though. I just want to let you know that, Emanuel, I just be messing with you. All of these years, me and you be on the same side for the most part. Some stuff as far as women and children go, maybe not. But I appreciate you, brother, because I don't know how to explain it. If we don't talk like we talk and kind of argue and bounce stuff off of each other, our community is not thinking. I don't see us having this conversation in this manner. As far as I look at it, like if you have a TV in your house, right? It's your house, but somebody want to come over your house and watch TV, and they say, well, let me just go ahead and buy the TV from you. But the TV stay in your house. So when they come over, they can come over whenever they want to. They can bring their friends. They can make a mess because they own the TV, even though it's still in your house. Norfolk literally blew up East Palestine, Ohio, with a chemical irritant and ignored that population. They said they was going to give them like $1,000. Most of the residents didn't even get that. And the government didn't come in and force Norfolk to do anything. And when you talk about Trump, one of the big issues with him and the railroads was that he eased the restrictions on railroads. So that means you can carry contaminants, you don't have to worry about braking systems. All that type of stuff could go on with the railroad. And if they have an explosion or if they bring any dangerous chemicals, whatnot, they in your house, but they got ownership of your TV. You ever play Monopoly?
Yes.
You ever land on railroads?
I've never owned them.
You never owned the railroad when you play Monopoly?
Never
when
owned
you play
the railroad.
When you play Monopoly, that's one of the key things to buy. When you land on that railroad, that's one of the main things you buy in the game.
Yes, it is.
Okay, man. You have a good day, and welcome back.
Thank you, Marquetta. All right, that was Marquetta. And just for the record, I ain't never had no problem with Marquetta. We do go at it a little bit here and there. But y'all know me. I kind of like that stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. All right. Twin.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How long I got before I testify?
Go for it.
Now, hey, man, you see that DS earlier, man? He got on the show like a clown, that Aptep dude, and Lincoln blocked for him like you see and everything. And I was just speaking, man. What did you got all this, and I knew he going yes with the selling the railroad. But 1.6 billion ain't nothing, man. Only thing y'all want to sell it for to bail y'all ass out. That's it. But y'all don't look at the black community, man. Just like I was saying, it's sad how y'all say y'all got Avondale $20 million,
but I don't see what they built in Avondale. Do you?
No, no, I don't.
No,
I mean,
I
I
don't.
see
With 20
some,
million,
I see
man.
some
Come on, man.
development up there, but no, I don't really see anything significant.
They need to just say slash Avondale. Y'all build whatever you see in the Children's Hospital. Y'all build something around there. I see.
But
Y'all
just,
took the black
no,
ball.
but twin, know this. $20 million, my understanding, again, I don't do this stuff, but I know some people who do. And my understanding is $20 million sound like a lot of money to you and me. But when you're talking about doing some development, $20 million ain't that much money.
You right. You right. But still, where it's at though?
I don't
Y'all
know.
say y'all gave it to them. What y'all do? That little shopping area right there where they built a lunch mat and knock down Burger King and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me that cost $20 million? I don't see nothing else built around there. And you talking about y'all selling, y'all want to sell a railroad, but y'all not even helping the black community out. Y'all talking affordable housing and all that. I don't know the definition of affordable housing when it come to y'all. Y'all try to, dictate stuff and everything and try to go off other cities and everything. I remember a long time ago, that's how Chicago did. They said, we're going to move the gang out of here and everything, tear down these projects and bring our people back, which they did, and they moved the black folks out of the to the suburbs, gave them low income houses, whatever, in Section 8. But Cincinnati ain't really doing it. They want to go down there, build a stupid arena down there, and then don't even back nothing up, and they really want the black folks up out of there. I guarantee you, when in the last 5 to 10 years coming up, man, I hope I live to see it. All them black folks gonna be gone, man. They had this plan 10, 15 years ago. They know what they was doing, and they all in a circle together. The main ones, they ain't letting nobody else in what they input or whatever, or what they secret they had and everything. They ain't letting nobody hear what they go do. After I've been knew about it and everything, he's just on the hush of smiling and everything. But you see, man, I wouldn't even sell it, man, because it's not gonna benefit the black folk. They talking about reparation my ass, man. You ain't giving us nothing. We've been asked for this 40 acres in the mule. They ain't jumped on board yet. Only thing they do, well, I'm sorry. What about these people out here hurting homeless people, man, and all this killing? Get that reparation too. But they want to focus on other stupid stuff, man. I just don't understand this city, man. They need to go about take heat from what my city's doing. They trying to come up and everything, even though my city messed up. But still, man, it ain't right down here. And these sorry-o, scary-o, wannabe crooked black conservatives down, they too scared, man. And white folks tell you say something off with your head type. And I've been seeing it, man. And they get on TV, oh, we this, and man, go on with that. Don't lie to me. Then you want to talk about vote. Hell with that vote, man. The only thing they do is come in the community and everything. Thanks for your vote. See you the next 4 years.
Well,
and don't do nothing.
Well, hold on, let me pause you on that and let's
Oh,
contemplate.
man, no. Don't try to bring that Lincoln Ware stuff to me, man.
No,
voting all that.
Hold on. Let's
All
contemplate.
right, go ahead.
Let's contemplate this. If you don't vote, in particular, on this issue with the railroad, so if you're against selling the railroad because you think we getting shortchanged and the black community ain't getting nothing, but you don't go vote, the railroad gets sold if the people who don't want to sell it don't vote.
Man, let me tell you this, man. They select people before they elect people. They know what they was doing, just like they did Obama.
Hold on,
Ain't nobody would.
I can't necessarily say that I disagree with you. Well, I could, but I'm talking about an issue like this.
It's the truth.
Hold on, but this is an issue of, do we sell the railroad? Now, some
gonna
people
sell that railroad, man.
Some people are gonna vote yes. Some people are gonna vote no. If more people vote yes than vote no, they're gonna sell the railroad. So if the people who don't want to see the railroad sold is like, I don't trust them, so I'm not gonna vote, you're basically saying go ahead and sell the railroad.
That's what they go do. I'm trying to tell you what they go do.
They're not gonna do it if they don't get the votes.
They got it already planned.
No,
they go sell that railroad.
No, not if they don't get the votes.
And that vote stuff don't count to me. That vote really don't.
What does that mean? It don't count to me. It don't have to count to you, but it has to count. They count the votes, and then whoever wins, wins, and whoever loses, loses.
I'm trying to tell you, man, what they go do. They go show down and show out. They go sell that railroad, and the black folks go get what? 12 million out of that billion, maybe.
They gonna
And the rest
sell
of
the
the white.
railroad if people don't vote no.
Okay, what if they do sell? How much did he ever mention how much he go get a black community? He
Well,
never brought that up, have he?
well,
He never brought the West End up, have he?
well, no, but that's not the point that I'm making with this particular
I know what
portion
you making,
of the
but I'm making a
conversation.
point too. See, these stubborn ass black folk need to get off their ass and stuff, man, and show out. Cause it's stupid, man, how they let these white folks take over the hood, then you cry later and stuff. Well, they taking over our hood. Well, you could council whatever down there, city council down there in your community or whatever. This what he wanted, cause he go damn sure get his cut.
But this
They
ain't.
know what they doing,
But this
man.
railroad, the sale of this railroad, if it happens, that ain't something you can blame on city council. That's something you can blame on the citizens of the city of Cincinnati, because those are the people who have to make sure that they either get out and vote yes or
Don't
no.
different communities got their own councilman or something, or management or something?
They have community councils, but that doesn't necessarily do anything in city government.
I'm saying what the city councilmen be talking about though in different areas.
But
Did they ever come to the table too?
But what I'm saying is it don't matter. Look, there is, what's the
I
population of
understand.
Cincinnati? Like 300,000. And let's say all of us vote. If 149,999 vote no, but 150,001 votes yes,
Right.
yes wins and they sell. So to say I'm
Yeah.
not gonna vote on it because they done already made up their mind, that's the wrong idea. I get that, like for a presidential election, all that kind of stuff, because like it's millions and millions of votes, and you know the way that they do it, and we don't see the process and blah blah blah. But on something like this, it's as simple as we got more votes than they got, so it either passes or it fails. Stuff like this is when you can't say, in my opinion, when you can't say voting don't matter or voting don't count. That is all that counts with regard to whether
Okay.
or not
Yeah,
that railroad gets sold
When it coming about? What, next year or this year?
this year
When is
in November. Yes.
What is the 4th or 7th, the first weekend, the vote?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date.
You should know, you smart.
It got nothing to do with being smart. It's got more to do with just
I
remembering.
mean, you the man of the hour, whatever, ain't
No, that's
you?
like,
His nephew, so you should know.
oh my goodness. Hold on. When is
All right, man.
I'm
It's just on my mind, man. That thing's shaking up like this, man. I just want us not to be left out, but I'm gonna vote on it. I'm gonna vote no. Hell to the no.
November 5th.
On.
November 5th.
All right, then, man. I'll be there the 4th, the day before.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna vote on it, man.
Have your
But
voice heard.
Huh?
Have your voice heard.
Yeah, my voice go definitely be. I wish I can have time to go down there city meeting, but they might escort me to the county jail somewhere. The way I raise hell down there, 'cause it's stupid, man.
We don't
All right, man. You be safe, email. Man, I'm glad you back on, 'cause you know you like Tommy don't like to come to work, man. You ain't got no job.
Twin, I appreciate you, y'all.
All right, baby. Be safe, man.
All right. That's Twin. Yeah, this is one where your vote definitely can be counted in this one. Y'all, that's it. I got to, it's after 5. I got to get out of here. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I appreciate, again, all of the birthday wishes and all the welcome back and all that kind of stuff. Enjoy the rest of your day. Is this supposed to go back to raining again tonight? Oh, all this rain is bothering me, but I guess it is what it is. You just got to rain. Whatever you do today, however you feel, tell somebody. Emanuel told you personally. No, I'm just playing. If you out and about, do me one favor. Be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.